We knew it. We knew it. But a lot of people were in denial about it. I talk about this in the NFL a lot. In fact, I'm probably going to address it again when we talk about the Patriots and Bengals game. I said that the last thing you want to do as a team, as an organization, as a program, speaking of college football, is have an extremely loud offseason. And when I mean loud offseason, I mean noise that isn't particularly good around your team. The last thing you want to do is go into a season with a bunch of noise and expect to play at your top tier shape, top tier potential. It's damn near impossible. It's almost impossible for the NFL. It's almost closer to impossible for college football because you're dealing with kids. You're dealing with teenagers that's aspiring to make it to the NFL. So usually the noise that you hear in the NFL offseason is much different than the noise that you hear in college football offseason. And what did we hear coming out of Michigan all throughout the offseason? We heard about there could be sanctions, there could be violations, or there could be penalties handed down to Michigan for the sign stealing. Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan to go to LA Chargers. Shamar Moore has been appointed the new head coach. And they lost nearly every single, not all, but nearly every single starter, at least on the offensive side of the ball, to either the draft or graduation. They lost their starting quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. They lost their starting running back in Blake Corum. They lost their key defensive players. They lost offensive linemen. Nearly every single person that was important to that national championship team a year ago is gone. So it brings me back to what I was saying. We knew this was going to happen. I think when the season started and we saw that Michigan was ranked 9th, that was probably the most out of respect ranking I've ever seen. Because nothing about this Michigan team said that it should be 9th. I'm not saying that it should be ranked. I'm saying I don't think it should be 9th. The only reason why it was 9th is because it's kind of crazy putting a national champion or reigning national champion outside the top 10. So they put it as close to outside the top 10 as they could. But we should have known, man. We should have known that this team was going to struggle. Let's say that. Obviously, their defense is still good. There were some players that stayed from the national championship team on the defensive side of the ball that, while it doesn't mask all the issues that their defense does have, they have some key players. And offensively, you still have Donovan. I forgot his last name. The running back, or Donovan is his last name. Like you have, there are some semblance of last year's team, but it's very, very faint. Well, it's very difficult to retool in college football. especially when you lose as much as Michigan lost. And when you look and you see that they struggle offensively in game one. They won, but if it wasn't because of their offense. It was because their defense came to play. You knew they were going to struggle when you go up against a juggernaut, when you go up against a team that seems like it has it all clicking. And they played Texas on Saturday. And Texas, even though I know it still looks like a blowout, and it is 31-12, but that score was not indicative of the entire game. It was worse. Texas beat Michigan like they stole something. It kind of felt there was a point early on actually that I remember saying to myself watching the game like, yo, Michigan doesn't deserve to be on this field with Texas. I talked about it earlier, man. There's 3 teams that is just steamrolling through college football right now. There is Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas. Right now, it feels like those 3 is the gold standard of college football. Those are the 3 top. Those 3 teams are in a tier of their own. And then you have the rest. In Michigan, again, bro, I don't know what you expect. You lost a future Hall of Famer as a coach. You lost your starting quarterback for a national championship team. Your starting running back for a national. In fact, Blake Corum is the school's leading rusher of all time. It's going to be a long. I'm not saying that Michigan isn't going to be good. But there's a reason why, if I remember correctly, there's a reason why I did not put them in the college football playoffs. I don't think they're going to be that good. They're going to try. I'm never going to accuse them of not trying. But do I think they're going to be good? Nah. I don't think so. I don't think it's over with for the program. And I want nothing more than Shamar Moore to succeed. But there's a reason why the meme is going around of Shamar Moore just looking depleted. And the caption is, when you realize you're the fall guy. Because remember, a lot of these punishment for the sign stealing still has not come down yet. It was a crazy week in college football, man. Texas did their thing. We talked about Notre Dame. Shouts out to McCord at Syracuse for beating Georgia Tech, which also cements why I think that is over with for Florida State, because the team that beat you in Dublin, Ireland, you lost. No, they lost to Syracuse. So, yeah, man, I think this week is going to get a little interesting. You see some old rivalries like Oregon playing Oregon State. I think there has to be a time when Oregon looks good, bro. Oregon has to. You can see glimpses, like you can see that there is a good team in the pile somewhere, but Oregon is struggling. I'm not gonna hold you. As a person that picked them as the national championship, they are struggling. And they just don't look like a coherent team right now. They should have blown out Boise State, but there was 2 back-to-back drives that ended in turnovers. So, yeah, college football is roaring along, and we'll see what happens. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.